Alright guys, welcome to the smoke break. We got another episode coming up. I do need to change the topic on the podcast. I did not change the heading, but today it's going to be the history of gaming with your host Rasnir, and also we got our regulars, Mr. Slippers, Freefer, and Schulbs holding on the chat. So if you guys got anything you guys want to talk about, we got the chats up. But today, yeah, we're going to be mainly talking about the history of gaming and how our experience with it have been, since we, all of us are pretty good gamers, except Shulb is now just getting into it, which is pretty good.
She's actually, I used to play all the time when I was little. I'm just not so much of a gamer as an adult, because adulting is hard.
Well, we all have our, failures,
Yeah, I mean, gaming nowadays, it is hard as an adult just because you got so many responsibilities to do, like working and bills to pay and all this stuff, that getting actually caught up in video games is pretty difficult.
Yeah, ever since you made me start playing Destiny 2, my studying has been slacking.
I read this article actually saying apparently somebody from Bungie posted that it's literally impossible to level up in Destiny to be a good Destiny player, or like max out and do the raids and stuff like that in Destiny 2 if you're married, or if you have like a steady relationship with a job. You will not succeed in Destiny 2 just because just because they
estimate how long we can stay awake for, and
exactly.
into account.
And I was like reading that, and I was just like, that is not true. Like, I play so many different games, and I'm already like almost maxed out to level 300. So it's like,
yeah,
I don't really understand it.
I think it comes from, say they're taking the demographic of someone who would be over 30 right now, and that's usually
dealing with taking care of kids and stuff like that as well.
Not only that, but I'm getting at they're not a person that's over 30 now is not as good at video games as a person who is even 28. There's a very big gap between.
Just because of the age of them growing up in a different
the technology gap too.
I do think there's a very big gap too in terms of having children. Like, I feel like I don't have any extra time right now for any kind of gaming.
Children.
And then if I had kids on top of that, no gaming would ever happen. Unless it was like a game that they could play too.
I mean, kids go to sleep early, and you're going to be waking up all night when the kid's a baby. So there is, I know people that have kids and game just as much as they used to. They just, let their kids play with shit while they game,
We are considering we're putting gaming into a category of an extremist category of just either you playing video games to where you gotta level up and grind, or you're not a gamer, you know what I mean? But anybody nowadays can be a gamer just because you have so many games on your phone that you can just play. Even that classifies you as a gamer, you know what I mean?
And everything's turning a lot more pay to win exactly for that reason. And that's what a lot of people that complain about it don't understand, is that that's the only way for people that don't have time to even compete with someone who sits there all day and plays. Even though someone who sits there all day and plays and pays for it will break it, but it's better than not having 70% of the population be able to experience it. Then no one will play. That
is one trouble I'm having with nowadays gaming. Back then, I was just reading up on for this. I came to this podcast very unprepared. I came up with a topic, and then I've just been I'm just gonna throw shit in there, and that's what we're doing. But one of the things I did want to say is the first, a physicist created the first video game ever. In 1958. Back then, gaming was non-existent, and this guy, a physicist, just created a ping pong tennis game, just bored out.
But you did have shit like Dungeons and Dragons and shit like that. That's where
card games.
Yeah,
Solitaire goes way back.
But it's not video. That's just gaming in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it couldn't be access to video until the technology was available, and then everything that like humans do will transfer into their new findings. You know how a bicycle turned into a car when we developed an engine.
And then we develop a plane, and then we develop the rocket, and
Yeah.
we're in
What
goddamn
I think
space.
it is right now with the pay to win is that like for gaming has the next level that it's gonna have will be like like it's already having sports scenes and like they're already on TV. There's like so many big tournaments with like huge pots.
Another
And
thing, what do you think
I think
about a video gamer, a professional video gamer being called an athlete?
Nah.
I think they need a new word because athlete I think by word structure means like physical activity, but
Exactly. But they're calling like all the CS:GO players, all the
Well, technically, according to the dictionary, an athlete is a person who is proficient in sports and other forms of physical exercise. So
yeah,
therefore,
that's what I mean.
a professional gamer cannot be an athlete under the
Unless you define physical exercise in the dexterity it takes to be good at a video game. And if you consider your brain a physical object that you have to train to be able to play it right, then that definition can be stretched, you know? Like, so
yeah.
I don't know. I think
think
the
it should
word might be.
I think it should be reserved until we have like full on like virtual reality.
To where we
I think we
actually
need a new
physically.
word. Yeah.
There's actually okay, so there like that brings to the whole VR thing. Like, there actually now is tournaments of this game. God, let me look it up really quick. And what it is you're a magic caster, and what you do is you fight against other people, and it's a 1v1 duel. It's like that whole Harry Potter dueling system. So you're in the VR,
Yeah.
there's somebody in front of you, and you guys cast a spell at each other. So you guys gotta dodge out of the way, block. You know, you have like a certain spell that you gotta choose. So you guys gotta like destroy each other by using
No
your like.
shit. How do you use the spells?
It's hands. It's VR. Like you literally block. Like you know, you select your spells with your hands at the beginning, and like you do all your stuff, and then you go at it with somebody that has
So do
like.
you have to like trace a shape to use a certain spell? Or?
Yeah, it's like that. It's like, so you gotta throw a fireball. You like create a circle, and then you like push your hand through the circle and like throw a fireball, or like, you know, create a circle,
Oh, that's
raise your
pretty
hands up.
sick.
So yeah, no, it's all about reaction time. It's all about how you react to the other person's, you know, casting and stuff like
Dude, I
that.
want to play that for sure.
So we kind of went straight for current video gaming. Shouldn't we backtrack to, like, you mentioned the original video game was a tennis-like game, and then of course everybody knows Pong was like the first well-known and well-played video game.
But when I go back, it's like Pong wasn't created
Actually, no,
until
I think
1970. Pong wasn't created until
well-played and well-known
1970.
video game was fucking Neverwinter Nights, dude. That game was like only played on private servers at a university, and then they like released.
No,
it
but
to
we're
all the
talking about like
world.
way before online gaming was even made, dude. Like.
Yeah, that shit was old. All right, well,
Like when we're talking about like Super or Nintendo wasn't even made.
Neverwinter
Yeah, let
Nights
me
was
see.
originally released in
It should have been like 1995 or no? Wow.
no, it's like way earlier than that.
yeah, I think I saw
think it's-
something about 91.
Yeah, it's in the 1990s because I remember Neverwinter being out. But like I'm saying, like the 70s, from the 70s and up, video gaming took off in a whole nother level. Before that, there was only that one tennis game that this physicist created. His name is let's see, his name is William. Fuck, I don't know how to say Higginbotham. Higginbotham. Here, I'm gonna post it on the chat so you guys can see if you can say that.
Higginbotham.
Hey, what?
Oh, okay.
Higginbotham. I literally grew up with somebody with that last name.
Higginbotham. That's nuts. So yeah, that physicist in 1958 he just created it because he was like bored at work and he had like a radio machine. So he figured out how to send a radio by clicking a button, like the radio wave, send the radio wave to one side, and the other person has to click the button, and then it sends it the other way, and the other person has to click the button, sends the wave back the other way. So you guys gotta like interchange on. It's really crazy. I was watching some videos on it, and it's like a 59-second video, but I mean, I would lose hours playing this. Let me see if I can like post it for the people to watch.
Yeah, I'm looking through some of the like original things, and most of like the dates are in the 1970s for like, I guess, quote unquote mainstream stuff that was actually released to the public.
Yeah, it's when everybody started smoking a lot of weed.
Yeah, pretty much. That's when people started becoming creative in a sense. But you see how cool that game is, dude? Like, that game seems so simple.
Yeah.
And I would see myself playing that for hours, like, especially against you guys. Especially against you, Free, for like you and me would sit there and just, how is that word in English? Enviciar?
Binge?
Like, yeah, I guess, like, binge. We like kind of like become obsessed with it and just like we do with
it would be our vice.
Yeah, dude, it's our poison.
What was the first game system that you guys had as kids?
I had this
Fucking...
What'd you have?
I had the first Nintendo.
NES, Nintendo Entertainment System. So I had, because in Venezuela the NES was like, came out way later than back then. We didn't get shit like in 3 months. We got it like a year or two later. But we had this version of NES which was like, it was like an Atari type of thing, but it was like a cheap made one that you can buy for like $5, and it has like 300 something games in it, but they're all like 8 pixelated games that you don't understand what the hell is going on.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so that's what I had. That's my first console ever. And
They still
then
have like speedruns of games like that now, though. Oh,
yeah, no, but
exactly
then we couldn't play it because apparently that was like creating people to go crazy, and like the visuals were possessing children and shit.
Possessing children.
Yeah,
because the only studies the countries used to get back then was like the reports of schizophrenic attacks from
epilepsy seizures and shit. Like kids are ceasing out there in front of the TV, foaming out of their mouth, and they're like
monster friends and shit. Like they talk to new.
And then they're like, "Oh, my kid is possessed by the devil." Video game brought that to him, and like. It became like a huge fad.
No one else can see. Like.
Yeah, it's the devil's got in him. Yeah, it was funny because like I know it's not about video games, but it's about Dragon Ball Z, and my mom bought me all this because like any anime or Japanese cartoons in Venezuela for like at least 2 years was video games, and anime were the devil. You were you were frowned upon by everybody, by society, if you had some anime or video games in your household. And my mom had bought me like this Dragon Ball Z shit, and I was like, I'm huge into, I grew up with that. And my stepmom, being the whole crazy bitch that she is, she was like, "Oh, that's the devil. I'm gonna throw you're gonna go to the dumpster and you're gonna throw all your Dragon Ball Z videos and everything to the dumpster." And I was like, wow. She like forced me to throw everything away. And that's when I completely stopped gaming after that. Until it was I would go to my friend's house or my grandpa's house and play, and she would like hate it. She like it was like every time we went to like Town to visit my grandparents, she would hate me going, because my grandfather would just be like, "Oh, here's the controller."
People like that still walk around.
So me and Raz were talking today about how one of the games that came out on NES was that Olympics game.
Oh man, yeah, and it's worth $70,000.
What is the game?
The game itself is worth $70,000.
So can you play
just
as like
to be able to
any
play.
Olympian?
No, it was like I actually had this game growing up, and you just did the Olympic. It was a lot of track and field stuff, actually. I think it was only track and field, if I'm not mistaken. And it came with this like matte controller that you would plug into the NES controller jack or whatever. And you had like high jump and triple jump and hurdles and all this stuff. And so you would run on the pad and then like jump for the things as you would do it. And that game was so cool. I actually think I still have it somewhere at my mom's house.
Like if you have that game, you're sitting in a gold mine right now. That game is literally worth money. Like it's I was watching it and yeah, because apparently they decided to make, the creators only decided to make 200, and they were like, oh, we're gonna make 200 for now to see how this game sells, because we don't think it's gonna sell that much. It didn't sell that much, only to a certain few that were like, oh, this is cool, and that's it, that's all they sell. And then nowadays somebody wanted to play that, and then they were like, yo dude, this is the only copy, and then they found out there was only 200 copies ever made, and then they upped the price, and now it's worth, I think I saw one in eBay for like almost 225 grand, dude. Like betting it was
Who's got that much just to drop on a Nintendo game?
collectors, man. Those, I've seen some people that are collectors, that I've seen some video games that are just insane. 10, 11 grand.
Yeah, dude, there was some streamer that had like his headphones listed on eBay for like the bid was at like 75,000 or something.
Whoa.
Just for somebody's headphones.
Yeah.
That just, what? I mean, can you imagine, like, just because it's like
He was gonna donate the money or something like that, but that's still like we're just throwing money at him. Like,
yeah, that's
Like, who's gonna check anyway? I'd just be like, oh yeah, sure.
I donated it, yeah.
there's a lot of problems with that. Yeah. Like that dude, what was he called? He played League and he was like a huge. He only played Rise, and he would always like try to get people. He would hire people to sit there all day and beg for donations on his stream.
The power
And he would
pad.
supposedly give it all to charity. But
That was the game I had. I don't know if that was the game, but that was definitely the pad that I had for
I had
the
a Sega too. After that, did you have a Sega?
Yeah, I had a Sega, and then after the Sega I had the Super Nintendo, and then from the Super Nintendo I jumped to GameCube straight up.
Yeah,
And
that's how I went too. But I also had. You remember the Sega or? No, it was a Sony like hand device. And it was a
Oh,
big one, and it had like big
no,
speakers and
it was a
everything, and
Sega.
had,
It was a
like-
Sega. It was a Sega handheld. The Sega handheld, and it was like a black
Yeah.
big ass handheld. You play Sonic and shit in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sega handheld, dude.
Spider-Man and, like, yeah,
That thing was a
X-Men
rare.
game. Yeah,
console.
I had one of those, dude. This thing was my favorite. I would always take it to the beach and stuff and play at night.
What about you, Mr. Slippers? What was just like? I never heard anything besides you. When I met you, you had the computer, and that's how we played PC gaming. And that's
Yeah. Well, I had a Nintendo, a Super Nintendo. I never had any Segas, but I had like original. I had the first PlayStation, I remember, and then I had a PC in '95. It was like old school.
Oh,
But
my
I had games on
95
it.
PC.
I remember the good one.
Mhm. Windows 95.
Oh god, how I missed that
remember there
logo.
was like a jet fighting game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had A-10 Tank Destroyer.
Yeah.
I remember like the computers first came out. I used to play this one. My stepmom would only let us play like educational games, and I would play this one with this jetpack, dude. That you would do math, and they do like
Oh, I
kill
played that at
monsters.
school.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
and I enjoy the shit out of that game. Like, I would love doing that. I think that's what the only reason I got good at math.
I think I
Math
had
Blaster.
Yeah.
Oh, Math Blaster. Heck
Yeah, that's
yes,
what he's
that
talking
game.
about.
I
Man,
think I had like a Sesame Street game or something like that.
I'm trying to
I
see.
also played like Age of Empires, the old ones that they released
Oh, yeah.
first, and what was the other one?
I played
It was an
Total War.
Empire. Yeah.
Empire of War. Oh, dude, that's a game that you play with the Romans, and like you always use the Romans and they were always like naked and beat everybody's ass. Is that the one that you're talking about? Like you would play with your girlfriend at a time, and she was living in Illinois.
Oh yeah, Total War. No, that was with that was the older one though. That was Rome. I'm talking about like the original one, where it's like
Yeah.
just medieval stuff. But no, Rome was cool too. There's actually a Rome 2. No, but I suck at it.
Dang, because like I remember you playing that with that chick all the time, and that was pretty funny.
And Dragon Age.
What was her name? What was her name?
Chrissy.
God, I remember she had a very monotone, like naggy voice. She would always get mad at you. Oh, that was funny, dude. I'm looking at like the most rare consoles.
Me and my little brother used to play Freddy Fish too, and Putt Putt the car game on the computer.
Apparently
It
there
a
was
golf game, too.
there was a Men in Black PlayStation edition. That's intense.
Did you ever play Gex?
Gex. Sounds very familiar.
Like Gex the Gecko. It was on their first PlayStation.
Yes, I did, and oh man, he had like a laser. He was like a spy or something. Like he wore a suit.
I don't know what that dude's agenda was, but it was a good game.
Yeah, I remember like I tried to think about like all these storylines that I've missed out on from back in the day just because I just played the game just to play the game.
Yeah, I never
too.
really thought shit through when I was a kid. I was just like, oh man, this is hard.
Oh,
You just
dang.
figured out the shit you had to do to not die to the boss. And
Exactly, and then just keep on going. You don't care about the story. Like you're like blah blah blah. Skip.
I
Whoever
did read Kirby though. I read the whole Kirby story and shit just because I liked it.
that's
Above Kirby Dreamland.
whoever played a game called Pepsi Man
No.
for PlayStation 1.
Pepsi Man.
Yeah,
I don't
And-
think I ever played that.
and it was like
I never had a PlayStation.
wrong video. My bad.
Jam Sam.
That game was the shit.
All right, here we go, guys. Here's the video.
Whoa. Dude, this game looks awesome.
Pepsi Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that game was awesome, dude. Like it's a runner, and you run around the city. Like, here, let me show you guys.
I'm gonna fucking get an emulator just to play this.
Yeah, and you just run to the oh, this game is great. Like, you start off, and then you gotta collect Pepsis as you go along, and
I played something similar to that, but it was on, I think it was on Super Nintendo or something, but it was like the 7-Up though.
the 7-Up guy.
Yeah, I don't fucking remember what it's called.
Post see see if you can find a video and post it on the
Yeah, like,
so the firefighter tells the Pepsi Man to get some Pepsi or something, so you go off and start running to get some Pepsi. That's the main the storyline of the game. You're running around getting Pepsi for people.
Talk about product placement.
Oh man. Well, man. Oh dang, what game is this?
That's the 7-Up one.
The cool spot. The 7-Up and 7-Up and Spot character. Okay.
Dude, everybody was trying to get a piece back then.
I remember the 7-Up changed the logo, or they still got the red dot. I don't know if they have that. Interesting.
I
That.
re-
Go
I
ahead.
remember I played this shit all the time, but like it's crazy watching this.
Dude, that game looks really well made, actually.
Yeah,
I miss the,
like-
production value in games, like how everything was perfect and there was nothing fucked up, like it worked how it was supposed to. Now every game's so fucking broken when it first comes out.
Yeah, because of the commands. Let's just add like a shit ton of commands and hope they work out. And then you got characters twisting their heads 360 and shit. You're just like, oh
I
man.
get it's a lot more information, but I don't know, like some things are just ridiculous, especially in MMO RPGs. So,
This reminds me of like that Star Wars game I played for the NES, and you start in the snow.
Super Nintendo.
Yeah, you start in the snow with playing as Luke Skywalker after getting stuck in that cave.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And then it also reminds you of what's it called? That game I was telling you about, Shelby, with the two aliens, and like humans are aliens in their planet, and you gotta capture them and kick them out. Toe Jam and Earl. Toe Jam and Earl. You guys never played Toe Jam and Earl?
No, but here's another classic.
Oh yeah, I played this shit a lot.
Oh, Jim Worm, yeah. See if you can find a
Earthworm
video.
Jim was-
Yeah, Earthworm Jim. If you can find a video for what did I say? Toe Jam and Earl. Toe Jam and Earl.
I spent a lot of time playing Earthworm Jim.
God, way too much, dude.
Shit.
Especially like
Played this game.
this is like one of the first PC games I ever played. And then I
Yeah.
got it for the Game Boy Advance when they brought it back for the Game Boy Advance. The cow launched, killing the Black Crows and everything. Oh man, that was some. This is making me want to do some like old school gaming now, dude. Like,
I would play this shit again. They should remake Rayman, but leave it like make it a mobile one.
oh
player game.
dude,
Make it
this reminds me of Pitfall. Come on, everybody's had to play Pitfall. You're in the jungle and you
sounds
fight the
familiar.
black jaguar at the beginning, dude. Yeah,
No, I don't remember that.
dude. Come on, it was
I'm trying to get this one of I'm starting to look up Game Boy games now.
Oh, Game Boy. I,
This
don't know,
is-
I went super old school when I had my NES, like Duck Hunter and Mario and the Olympic Games.
I played
like,
those two. Yeah.
this is Pitfall.
Was this only PC?
No. They had it for Game Boy Advance, but it came out for PC. Like it was like the. And you're like this dude, and you're like pretty much Indiana Jones type style game. It was. It was a very good game.
This dude's getting wrecked by that snake.
I think Pitfall was one of the first like PC games, like actual games I ever played.
I never saw this game. It looks fun though.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's really hard too. Like it's the first monster is a jaguar, like a. Obviously, this person that's playing it sucks. Like I don't even know.
Obviously.
Like I don't even know why I'm
Fucking
like.
owned by the snake.
Yeah, like.
You gotta link these videos later so people can see it.
He's been putting them on the thing. So I used to play on this website called Pogo a lot, and it was like basic games, but
played
it had like
there.
a chat feature too. But there were some fun games on there.
Yeah, the whole goal of the Pitfall was to run away from the Pogo games. I remember Pogo games.
What
Oh,
was
yeah.
your favorite GameCube game though? Well, you can't say Melee.
Oh man, I would say like Star Fox Adventures is pretty good for the GameCube. Pikmin,
Yeah.
dude. Pikmin was Time Splitter, dude. I don't know. It's like that's a rare game that nobody really speaks about, but Time Splitter.
I heard a lot of good shit about Pikmin, but I just so.
GameCube was a very underrated. I mean, not underrated, but it was.
It had a lot of games like the Kirby series. They had the Zeldas, fucking Melee. Like it was really underrated. It's just because PlayStation got more
Came out, yeah.
advertising. And
But-
it came out at the break. It's like if a new console would have come out right now with Unreal Engine 4 and it would have released it like 6 months before. Like that shit used to happen back then where it can't now, you know. That's what happened to like Nintendo, I feel, and that's why they went into handhelds and shit.
Yeah, like they just stopped making consoles. I don't think Nintendo actually like. I think they just gave up with the whole console
Like,
making.
It's a joke. That's like a mom Nintendo.
The Switch though, the Switch is so flawless though. Like I give
don't
him
think
mad
Guys,
props.
guys, I'm about to take y'all back, big time.
Where we going?
Oh, that's what I was talking about. You found it. Yeah, Doom. When we were
Oh
talking about this, I was like,
man,
Doom. Everybody played Doom, and that game was hard.
that game was hard because you have no way of aiming up and down, so you miss a lot. Like
You had to wait.
And it was like creepy. I mean, at least it was for me, but I was also playing it like it, 8 years old.
Me too. I
God.
played so much Doom.
Like
much shit.
I started playing some of the old games I used to play back in the day, like the Lion King and the Aladdin and stuff like that for the Sega. And I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, like I beat the game in like probably 30 minutes to 40 minutes. And back then it would take me like days at a time to beat a 30-40 minute game, and I was just like, I can't believe I had trouble with this. Like,
But
This
it
is
used to
insane.
not run as smooth back then.
yeah, true. Because with the buttons, they had that delay. Like
Yeah.
you would jump and it would take like literally almost a second for the character to jump or something like that. It was like,
And the sensitivity was weird too, like it was real chalky. Now when you play on new computers, you have way more control. Like back then, if you like press the button once, you'd move like way too far, and then you'd miss. And if you move the mouse, it'd move way too far, and you'd miss.
because they had sensitivity settings. Yeah. Here is a mouse and it moves left and right, up and down, and figure it out. Here you go.
And the mouses had the little rubber balls and shit back then.
Oh man, the rubber ball mouse.
Yeah.
God, that's some old school like. And every time like you'd have to like smack the mouse for the ball to like work.
To reset to go back to the round area because
Oh
like
my
it was
gosh.
so boring.
This game right here, guys, I used to get lost in this game. Hold on. Me and my little brother, original PlayStation, we used to play this all the time.
I hope you don't put Battletoads.
No.
Apescape.
I played that game. You're right. That's one of the best games ever.
It was so fun. Original PlayStation. That's where it was at. Ape Escape, man. That game.
It reminds me of Monkey Ball. Who played Monkey Ball for the GameCube? You must have had to. What about Billy the Egg Hatcher?
I didn't play that.
What? It's like you're like this dude that likes chicken, so he wears like a chicken suit, and he like goes around rolling eggs, and you like kill monsters with the eggs and collect their life force into the egg, and like they grow and.
What about fucking Super Nintendo, the boxing game? Oh man.
Oh,
Knockout.
don't knockout!
Fucking
Don't tell me about knockout, dude.
Dude, that was the beast.
I hated how like in that game they always gave you the weakest, smaller
But that after if you like played well and you dodged 5 times and you hit him twice, you could like one shot him afterwards. Like you were really strong actually.
I can't find a trailer for. Oh wow, they brought it back for the Wii.
Yeah, I heard about that, and they made it with the like
Substitute.
Switch.
Yeah.
I wanted to play that. I would totally play that. That game was so fun, man. I loved it. I beat it so many times.
This is not the old one, but I guess like. Oh no, it was Super Nintendo, not Nintendo.
Yeah, Super Nintendo.
I was gonna say the old one's like all 2D.
It was like one of the first kind of 3D-ish things.
The new one looks pretty cool though. Like, I would love to play the new one.
Anybody else play this game on the original Xbox?
Oh hell yeah, that was an awesome game.
Odd World.
The game was so weird, but so fun.
It had a really good storyline.
Mhm.
Odd World was one of those games that I actually paid attention to, even though I was like young. Like there was very few games that actually captured my attention to like follow and actually read the storyline.
By the time Xbox came out, I mostly played Halo.
Did you even own an Xbox?
Yeah, I actually had like a bunch of Xboxes. They always broke. I stopped buying Xboxes.
Dang, my first Xbox lasted me all the way onto the Xbox One. No, that's a bullshit because no, remember you would come over to my house
Didn't you have
and I
a
would
360 that broke?
No, I never
Yeah,
had a
you did.
360. I always had
I
the
had-
Xbox.
I had like 360s.
Guys, look at this controller. We used to play with this.
I stopped buying consoles after like the game.
Holy crap. No, but you see mine didn't have that's a third party controller.
Yeah, it is because it has the Microsoft. That's a PC controller.
And it has the white buttons on top. The white buttons were right next to the right stick. The joystick and the joystick were right
No,
there.
they weren't.
Yeah, they were.
No, actually, I think that is the original
That's
one.
the original one.
Really?
Negative.
Then that
That-
can't.
Yes.
I'm gonna look.
Oh, you're right.
No, yeah, I was saying they couldn't
They were
take
down. They were down.
because I used to play Morrowind, and one of the things that saved me was because the pots were black and white, and I would use I would be pressing the white and black buttons all the time. Like I was like, oh man, potions. Like Morrowind was a merciless game.
Yeah, that looks more like it. And that round thing on the bottom too. It wasn't like.
God, I miss that old system. Like that was my first actually like. I was like a kid on Christmas when I got it back from GameStop. I was like at home like screaming at the box like, oh, I got it! Like.
I just remember I binged on like Halo forever, and then they were like Halo PC, and then I was like, goodbye Xbox.
You never touch the Xbox again.
Oh, until 360 came around, then I had to play Halo 2.
The Force because Halo 2 never came out.
Why
for-
is there so much hate on the new Halo, dude? I really enjoyed playing that fucking game. Like,
I-
the story mode and shit.
I remember you came over when I was at that apartment
Beat
with that
game
chick.
in a night,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Like,
and I was just like watching you, and like I started off playing with you, and I got so bored with the mechanics of the game. I don't know, I was just like passing out, and I was like, dude, I'm just gonna watch you. And then I just like passed out. I woke up a couple hours later, and you were like, oh yeah, I finished the game. And I was like,
I
what?
was like one mission from finishing it, but yeah, like just the last part of the mission. I don't know, it was so cool.
Yeah, it was a great like. I don't know. I just could not get into it. Like it was too much dashing and boosting and jumping and
That's what I liked about it, though. I don't know. I really like that shit.
like might as well play Destiny, you know? Like
I'm
give it
going
all.
to when it comes out to PC.
what'd you say?
This is a throwback for me from like the original
yeah.
day. I binged on this shit more than anything.
Call of Duty.
The thing I
Dang, let me
binged
see.
on the most was Counter-Strike Source, for sure. More than 1.6.
So they're saying,
Source was like second runner up.
so you're saying they're trying to bring it back to this?
Yeah, well, like with the new Call of Duty, they're trying to say, "Oh, we're going back to the basics," and I'm like, "Nah, dude. Like, this is the basics. Like, whatever y'all are doing is like the complete opposite."
Yeah. It used to be
Dang.
more like
This-
the Counter-Strike, you know? And then
Yeah, it was a lot like Counter Strike, like and especially with like rifle only servers and stuff. Like it was mostly
had
just
bullet
skill.
spread and like yeah, and you could. It was really good. That's why what people liked the most was Modern Warfare 2, because that was actually the closest to this.
But once they came, like I don't know, they started coming out for consoles, and I think FPS should just be strictly for PC gaming. Like playing an FPS on a system with a controller, you have to like if you're gonna make it for the console, you have to change so much of the way the game plays just because you're
You know
playing on
what
a
I don't-
joystick rather than a mouse and keyboard. You know, like
The reason I can't take a shooter like seriously as a sport, like that you're taking seriously, you know, on a console, is because it has that auto aim. So all you really have to do is put
zoom out,
the
zoom in.
frame
Yeah,
the big ass like white crosshairs, and as long as you press the trigger and then press shoot, you will shoot straight fucking at him because the auto aim will stay on their body, and if you move it at all, you'll miss. So it's like what are you actually doing? You know, like I don't know. I feel
Yeah.
like aim to anyone that's played Counter-Strike on PC is such a like important fucking skill that it just upsets me when I see that. You know, you remember how much I used to complain about that shit.
Oh yeah, no. Like when I started playing, I remember the first time you were like, I told you it's like, oh, I'm getting Counter Strike, and you were like, oh, here, try it. And you put me in a deathmatch server, and I couldn't even like kill somebody because of I didn't even know how to shoot a gun in the game, and I was just like, dude, I don't even want to play this game. And you were like, yeah, it's hard, isn't it? And now look at me, I'm like,
Great, and you have to like worst and shit. Yeah.
now I'm like getting aces and shit with the pistol. Like it's insane. Like I've practiced so much. I've spent so much time just sitting there.
Dude, I tried getting you into Counter-Strike for years too, and I would let you play for a bit, and then you just rage quit every single time. Like,
It was hard, dude. It was hard to get into for me. But then now that once I started like actually got my own system to where I can actually sit there and practice, it's a lot more better than like playing on somebody's like, oh, I gotta go to my friend's house to play a game. I want to play that. I want to be
feels
good
like
at.
wearing like a worn condom, man.
Exactly.
I don't know what that feels like, but
Oh, I mean, you saying that sounds like you experienced that before. It's like, oh, I'm done. We're done having sex. Oh, we ran out of condoms. I mean, oh, we just want to use the one I used. I'll just wash it out real quick.
That is the most
It sounds like you even
I
have
have
a
to
story
admit.
attached to this one. I don't know. We'll just leave it at that for now. But I'm really feeling like playing Call of Duty. Like once you link this video to.
I've been watching this video like this whole time, and this guy's pretty good. He's just wrecking shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's a good video. Whoa, Twisted Metal.
Fuck.
Is that GoldenEye for the 64? No, it can't be GoldenEye for 64.
Golden, what are you talking
No, it's not GoldenEye, but
Agent 007. What game is this? James Bond for what system is this?
PlayStation.
I think I might have played this once. No, I don't remember the third
Tomorrow
person.
Never Dies?
I remember Tomorrow Never Dies. That was a pretty good game. Perfect Dark was a pretty good game too for the 64.
I played all of the fucking 007s, man. That was really good games.
GoldenEye was fun.
Yeah, I think GoldenEye was one of my favorite games of all
Street
time.
Fighter, Mortal Kombat. Oh man.
did y'all ever play that?
Siphon Filter? Is that like the before Splinter Cell?
Yeah, it was like PlayStation. It was like pretty much Splinter Cell stuff.
It's
Resident
literally the exact same as Splinter Cell, dude.
Just shittier mechanics.
Yeah, like what game do you say, for sure?
Resident Evil, back when it used to be hard.
Back when like you would start in that in that fire, like the
Back
cities
when,
of.
if you didn't know, you weren't supposed to like shoot that big monster at all, and you were supposed to blow him up, and then you ended up with no bullets, and you had to like restart
Oh
the
man,
entire game.
yeah, no, dude. I remember like playing that, and the beginning was just even hard, dude. Like getting out of the.
Yeah, no mercy.
Yeah, like there's like hundreds of zombies just attacking you immediately, and you're just like, what is going on? You open the wrong door once at the beginning, and you die because you get overwhelmed by like hundreds of zombies. And I was like, what is this? Like, is this even like fun to play? Like, I
You
remember
had to like know.
what was the Resident Evil like off-brand series, I guess,
Off-brands.
where
They
it was
made,
like where it was like there's other two dudes, and it wasn't like called Resident Evil. It was called man, I cannot remember if it was like let me see if I can find it, but
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
it was with a dude and a chick, and you can choose to play with either or, and it's like a complete different storyline with either or. But I cannot.
I played that game, but I don't remember what it was.
Let me see.
You remember the fucking Matrix games? Those are really good.
Which
Really
ones?
All of them. Man. Except for the newest ones, if they're still releasing that stuff. But let me see. I'll find the one I played the most.
The game was for Dreamcast, which was another underrated system. I thought the Dreamcast had a lot of potential.
No, it was Enter the Matrix on the GameCube. That's the one I played.
Dino Crisis, dude. Who played Dino Crisis?
Dino Crisis?
Yeah, it's like Resident Evil, but with dinosaurs.
I played that a lot.
Battle Up?
GTA.
Oh. Dang, I cannot find the game that... Oh, good old Vice City. Man, I cannot find the game that I was looking for.
So I think we need to move ahead in the times. We've been stuck in the past for a while.
I mean,
It's so fun.
those were the good games, man. Like those were the actual. That's when gaming like was fun. Nowadays, it's just grind and
No, but I
grind.
It's not really like that. I think people just don't take the time to think about the path they're going to take in a new game. Because, like, if you take advantage of all the shit you actually get, you can usually not have to grind that much. You know, like, if you knew everything you knew about Destiny, and by the time you quit it when you started it, like, you would have gotten to max level so much faster. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just don't like. I gave up on MMOs. I gave up on the whole leveling system, grinding and stuff like that. Oh, dude, Turok. I remember playing Turok a shit ton
That game's
time.
crazy.
But as far as grinding goes and all that, I'm done with
You're
that.
playing Destiny, man. That's
And
like
I
the biggest
don't-
grind fest in the world.
I don't grind that much on it, dude. I just like go play for fun, level up with my friends, like doing missions and stuff like fun missions. I don't sit there and like with Destiny 1, dude, I had no life. I literally would wake up, play Destiny. I would literally go do other stuff. Like I mean, I would get off Destiny, go to work, do something, come back to Destiny, and I would do nothing but just sit there and grind in one map over and over for like 4 or 5 hours. Like it was awful. Like and it burnt me out. And now I like playing like Counter-Strike. Like Counter-Strike, you know, like things that require skill. I like playing stuff like that.
MMOs do require skill depending, but it's the PvP usually. Not like, there's really cool boss fights.
It's hard to get into PvP MMOs
I think
because
they make it too hard to get to like where you're viable. You know, the break between viability and being strong is way too big, and it takes too long. And you
people
also have
crash
like,
out way before that.
Yeah, It's like, oh, you're level 40, and now it takes like so long. It takes you like, usually in games nowadays, the curve really plateaus at around like 35 to 40. If the
And
next level is,
that's
like,
one thing I
70.
hated playing with you and with Mr. Slippers, because I would start like playing with you guys. You guys have way more time than I had because I was always teaching martial arts. So like every time
work too.
I would like start playing with you guys, and the next thing I know, you guys are like 20 levels ahead of me, and I'm just like, dude, I don't want to catch up to you guys. Like, fuck this. And then you guys wouldn't even wait for me, and like I quit
I
playing
would make
Ace.
new characters and like catch up to you and play with. That's how I got you
I
to max
got.
level. Remember, I leveled like fucking 8 characters to max, so this fucker would get to max level once.
It was awful. And Slippers, he would like max out like 3 characters in Ace Online and Space Cowboy, and I would still be
I
like
only
with
had
my
like
gear.
2 characters, and that was like the only MMO I played.
The game was fucking fun, dude.
Yeah,
Space
well,
Cowboys.
dude, I had a fucking like level 70 something eye gear. It was the shit.
I had a B gear, dude. I had a maxed out B gear with Baoos and shafts maxed with the skill up and like. The
I had an M gear.
Like, oh man.
Dude,
I
if we
could
would have
kill
all
fucking
played,
anyone.
if we would have all played back then together, we would have had such a such a badass team. Because I was the M gear, the support. I had like all my shit maxed out. I was like
That was
level
my
60,
second character.
60 something, and then you were the bomber, and then the sniper. God, with like that would have been such a.
It's been a badass formation.
Yeah.
I
What
love.
about virtual
No one needs
reality?
A gears.
Have y'all
What's-
ever played VR yet?
I haven't. I'm waiting for it to get better.
I'm waiting for it to be real VR. Right now, you're just attaching a screen, putting it in front of my face, and I'm still moving. Like VR is supposed to inject something into my brain, and I don't want to have to move and shit. You know, like I don't know.
I give that
this
like
is a
another 6
start-
years. I give that another 6 years, dude. Five years.
I'm worried that if they start feeding this shit, they're just gonna create like a giant hamster ball and put you in it with gears and tie you up with a bunch of strings. And
So you're
shit,
saying
and
like
then
Sword
still
Art
put a
Online,
screen
but
in your
the
face.
thing that can happen is like you've seen Sword Art Online, dude. You think
Yeah.
something that fucked up can happen to where people are linked into a system, and if the system malfunctions while you're consciously in the
I
system,
think
wouldn't
that
that
in
fuck you up?
reality, there would be a fail-safe required by like safety measures before it would ever be allowed to be released. You know, like,
That's what I'm saying. That's gonna take years.
Yeah, I don't think people would be able to like fully immerse themselves completely, but I'm all for the hamster ball type thing.
Yeah.
yeah,
that-
me too. It would be fun, but I want to see.
They already
like, I
have
don't
that.
want
They
it
already
to
have that.
Stagnate there. I know they do.
They have this one thing where you like literally they put like a little thing around your waist that you tie a vest on, and you stand on this platform that's like a square, like a octagon, and it's only like about like a little bit wider than your body, but the platform is made to where you can run the platform, and it's like slides. You like slide on it, so you're running in place, but you feel like you're running forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but how's it gonna feel when you have to jump and when you?
No,
have
no,
to go
you can
downhill and
jump, you can like squat, you can jump, you can like run, jump, and like land there. I don't know, it's weird. Like the video I saw, that was pretty neat. Like they were doing it, and it looked
But
really
that
fun.
means, can you like go out of the path? I have to check the video out. That sounds really fun for sure. But I want to see it like I don't want to watch it stagnate there.
But
you know? I don't
it
want
was
them
like
to
it was like
just
$7,000 though.
overdevelop that. Yeah.
You know, for it to like, if you want to buy that system, it's like $7-8 just because it's a work in progress.
Yeah, that's the thing. It'll never be accessible if you have to buy a giant techno ball. You know.
Yeah, something that you have to put in a corner in your wall or your house like that. That's like it almost takes a whole room. You know what I
need a
mean?
Room.
Yeah, it's like that's all right. Let's go play VR. Like, there's this guy that plays Counter-Strike in VR, dude.
Oh, that's
And
pretty cool.
yeah, dude. It's let me see if I can find the video really quick.
Dude, I
But
would love to do that. That would be.
Dude, if
sweet.
everybody was in VR, it would be a totally different game.
Yeah, it would be for sure.
let me see if I can find the video for the for the VR. Okay, yeah, here we go. And this guy's funny. Like, I started watching him too, and
And he plays like cop and shit.
Yeah, no, and yeah, this video, it's hilarious. Like I actually enjoy watching this video. And this
Is he
guy's
like, good at it though.
yeah, no, like, well, no, he's like good. He's his first time playing it, so.
I think you could use some yoga in your life.
You could use some yoga in your life.
This is the world. This is gaming. 2017, bro. What's up, team? What's up, terrorists?
This is actually really funny. Like
What? Hey, little guy.
he like pets a chicken.
You're exactly at the same.
Right back.
Who's
Oh, nice.
Oh, he died.
Always got the bomb.
got the bomb? Everybody's like, you gotta like actually look down to see if you have the bomb on you. Like
But what is this? So what are they playing?
Counter Strike.
This mission.
They made a VR version?
Yeah, this is a VR Counter Strike.
Who made it? Like,
Yeah, the CS:GO people.
oh, that's pretty funny.
You can double shot it. You can throw your knife. Like.
Hey, don't activate that yet, bro. I'm running the ball.
I like how the guns just float.
Oh man, I would love to play this. Like,
Me too.
you actually gotta punch in the code. Like,
Damn, dude, everybody would fuck that up.
what now? Oh man.
Oh wait, I like that they have to like get their gun off their person.
Yeah, like they.
Later, nerd. Don't forget to oh no! I'm a teabag him.
I'm gonna teabag him. You can actually teabag, like, you know what I mean?
Dude, this is awesome.
Yeah, dude, like this video is great. Like this guy's so funny. Like I've watched a lot of his videos, and this guy's really funny. Like,
I wanna watch them like play though.
he goes through the window and he just like glitches out through the window. Like,
Oh no! Why did you do that?
he's dead as fuck.
Is that what happens in this game?
If that all happens in this game, it's just team kill.
It seems good. I mean,
It seems good.
He's holding the gun away, like.
Oh, that's pretty cool, dude. You can actually like see into the barrel.
Oh yeah, like you can like inject yourself, like. Stick it in your wiener. Would you like a knife massage?
have a gun. Hey, teacher, why don't I have a gun?
Teacher, why don't I have a gun? You chose to put your pistol in your chest, so it's like, look. God, I would love to play this. He got opt. Holy crap.
Not good.
I would definitely invest in that. Alrighty, guys. So, all in all, games have completely, like, evolved from you watching it in a little, like, screen and pressing one button to actually putting a helmet on and being part of, like, that's pretty nuts if you think about it, like the way, and the fact that we're gonna have like video games to where we're actually gonna be mentally in the game in a couple of years.
I don't think that'll be a couple of years. I think that's a lot.
I mean, I'd say at least like 5 years. I'm giving it a good 5 years. The way that technology is advancing nowadays, it's a good 5 years. But we're running near the end of our show here, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this podcast. I think this went a lot better than last time, just because we actually enjoyed the topic that we were talking about last time. We just kind of like winged it. We were just like, oh, well, let's go talk about ourselves. Like, you know, hey. Let's do a podcast, guys.
That's how it works.
But yeah, guys, our next podcast is gonna be on Tuesday. We have no idea what the topic's gonna be about yet, but it's gonna be a good topic, so make sure you guys check us out then. Alright guys, that's it for the Smoke Break podcast. Anybody want to say any last words before I close this?
Peace.
Later.
Bye.
Wow, you guys are very enthusiastic. That was like the worst farewells I've ever heard.
Thanks for listening.
Well, I was trying to get a rip ready, but it won't be in time.
I'm waiting for that little like. Where's that rip? Where's that rip?
It's too far. I have to go get it.
Son of a bitch. Alright. Well, that's it for the show, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Catch us on Tuesday. We're going to have the show uploaded for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And we'll see you guys later. Boom, boom, boom. I need a song really quick, guys. I can't finish without a song. So you guys.
Finish playing the. Or, something.
let me Alright, you guys got like 10 seconds to give me a song name. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Hold on, I got one.
Oh, okay, cool. Alright guys, welcome to the Smoke Break. We got another episode coming up. I do need to change the topic on the podcast. I did not change the heading, but today it's going to be the history of gaming with your host Rasnier, and also we got our regulars, Mr. Slippers, Freefer, and Schulbs holding on the chat. So if you guys got any that you guys want to talk about, we got the chats up. But today, yeah, we're going to be mainly talking about the